Welcome gamers, Hazardor here, and today I'm bringing you another boss guide. This one is probably one of the hardest ones in the game so far. I'd probably say by far actually is the hardest boss in the game apart from the final boss. This guy is definitely up there with one of the most difficult bosses in Dark Souls 3 so far. Why is he so difficult? Because his attacks do so much damage, his movement is really quick, it's very hard to predict what he's going to do because he has about 3, 4, 5 different attacks which look similar but they're actually very different. He has one particular attack where he sort of swipes you twice and another time where he swipes you 3 times, so you don't really know how many times to roll each time. That makes it so much more difficult and you have to fight this boss a load of times before you actually kill him. It's 30 attempts to take this boss out, I'd say it took me, and at the end I was so happy that I was able to take him out. So what tactic did I use to kill this guy? Well, first thing you have to do, just get rid of your shield. If you're using a shield, don't use it unless it's got 100% fire damage absorption, because he's going to hit you big time. Even if it has got that much absorption, I wouldn't bother using it anyway, because it's going to take massive chunks out of your stamina every time he hits you. Try and roll around him because he's not obviously on his legs, he's sitting there on his knees, so his movement is kind of restricted in terms of sort of stepping side to side. He rolls around really quickly, sort of can move 360 motion, no problem, and get a hit on you really quickly. So you have to be aware of that. The main thing you have to do, just like with every boss on the game, is know his hit pattern. You have to get used to when rolling, and once you perfect this, it will get much easier. The thing you have to try and do is stick behind this guy. Every time you can get behind him and get a couple of hits in, definitely do that, because if you're facing him head on, you'll get hit again and again. You won't enjoy yourself at all, I can guarantee it. Now I'm using a really good weapon, and I did really make the first stage kind of easy, but the second stage was much more difficult. On the second stage, he basically spawns another prince on his back who uses miracles and actually heals him at certain points as well. The person on the back lobs miracles at you, then he throws some like balls in the air which sort of lock onto you, which are very difficult to avoid, and while this is happening, the prince on the floor with the sword is using miracles to sort of teleport from one side to the other. And honestly, how do you avoid this? A lot of it does come down to luck. A lot of it does come down to skill as well, but I was doing the same thing again and again, and after about 10-12 attempts at the second stage, I managed to evade them all, or most of them anyway, to avoid massive damage. A lot of the time, you think you've dodged them, and you haven't. Simple as that, because he uses miracles that sort of lock onto you, and the other one is teleporting from side to side, so you have to sort of roll like crazy to get away from them as fast as possible. And even when you do this, it's hard as hell, because you got two people getting on you. They are together, which does kind of make it better since they are at the same position at all times, but they do double attacks, double the damage, and a boss fight is honestly double the harder in the second stage, which to be honest you expect, don't you? If it is a second stage of a boss, you expect it to get much harder. Now another reason this boss fight is so difficult is because he doesn't give you any chance at all to use your Estus flasks. Most of the time when I use them, I get hit halfway through using it, or after I've used it, or even before I've took it out. He is so aggressive, doesn't give you a time to breathe, and that's why I died a lot of the time, because I simply ran out of health and I had loads of Estus flasks, I just could not use them. If you need to use an Estus flask, don't rush to use it. Try and dodge his attacks and then use it when you know he's putting his final attack and is then powering up another moveset. But in the second stage, what you have to do is go for the younger prince. Why? Because if you take down the elder prince first, he sort of goes on the floor and then the younger prince goes and revives him. That is really annoying, and the first time that I saw that happen, I was really frustrated because, you know, it felt like all my hard work went down the drain. But if you do this second stage and actually take the one on the back out first, you do not need to take out the elder prince's health at all. The boss fight just finishes as soon as you take out the younger prince. So that comes back to what I said about before. Try and get behind this guy and smack the hell out of him with a few good hits. If you get a few good hits on him, you can take him out in no time, because the one on the back has no armor at all, he's just wearing cloth. But to get there in the first place is the real challenge. This boss fight is definitely a real challenge. I hope you guys take him out, but you'll take a lot of time to actually do this. It takes ages, mark my word, but when you do it, it is so satisfying. But anyway guys, thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe for more.